Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Always pleased to be joined by Matt Macklin. First of all, congratulations. I know you've got another little one on the way. Happy?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a busy household as it is. It's going to get a lot busier in 6 months.
Well, congratulations on that. Look, we're here for a fight week. Liam Smith, Chris Eubank Jr, the rematch. There's a lot on the line in this rematch. Break me down this main event. It's a terrific clash of styles. There's the beef from the first fight. There's a lot going on. Just break it down a little bit for me.
Well, going into this fight, which we didn't know in the first fight, was we now know that Liam has got the power to hurt Eubank, hurt him, stop him. I think going into the first fight, I think we all knew that Liam probably was the smarter, more experienced, could win the fight. Matt probably would win the fight, but I don't think anyone expected him to win it in the way he did. Probably the first time I've ever seen Eubank look vulnerable. He's been in there with certainly bigger hitters than Liam, George Groves to name one, and it always, his whiskers had always looked pretty solid. But he is older now, and your punch resistance, his punch resistance could be gone. I think tactically he made a mistake trying to outbox Liam. He was getting caught with Liam, had the momentum coming forward, full leverage behind the shots. I've always thought Eubank was a much better fighter than he is boxer, and if he's to win this fight, I think that's what he needs to do. It doesn't have to be reckless, but I think he needs to make it more of a fight than a boxing match.
I saw Chris on the overlap with Gary Neville, and he was talking about the fight up to the point of the knockout and in the face-off with Johnny Nelson. And he reckons, he was doing well up until the point of the knockout. Was the game plan wrong in the first fight, or was it a lapse in concentration where, because I think the round before, he was hitting Liam with a couple of uppercuts, and I think he thought, you know what, I've got the measure of him. Did he take his foot off the gas or think, you know what, I've got this kind of thing, and that allowed Liam to get in? Not taking away from Liam. Liam's a world-class operator in there, but did he get complacent in there?
Look, Eubank had a good third round. I think the first two were nip and tuck, but the reality was, I think both sides going in would have seen it as a 12-round fight. So, you're pacing yourself, you're conserving, you're having a go, and yeah, he had a good third round, Eubank, but then Liam made the adjustments and come out and had a great fourth round. So I think that, look, the biggest thing we got from the first fight was Liam Smith can hurt Eubank. I don't think we probably thought that was the reality. I don't think we really thought that was the case going into the first fight. Yeah, we thought he could beat him, that he was smarter, more experienced, but we didn't think he was going to do it that way. Now there's the unknowns going into this fight is psychologically, how has that affected Eubank? Has his punch resistance gone, or did he just get caught? We don't know. None of us know. So, but what Liam does know is he knows he can hurt Eubank, and Eubank knows Liam can hurt him. So that could change. That could change both guys' mental approach to the fight a little bit.
We talk about Eubank's mental approach, but Liam's coming into this now knowing what he did before. So this isn't the I've got to ram this down everybody's throat. He's done that. So Liam has to G himself up for this. I mean, I was speaking to him, he's still got plans of fighting at Anfield, plans of fighting for a world title. Is that got to be his motivation coming into this? The fact that, see yourself as an underdog coming into this, almost have it in your head that people are writing him off to get himself back up for this fight, because last time out were destructive.
I don't think Liam will see himself as an underdog going into the fight. I don't think he is an underdog. I think he was going into the first fight, but I think that was probably because he was coming up in weight, and also I think the Eubank name profile. I think most boxing insiders thought it was hard to call. I'd say this time go around, if you speak to boxing insiders, Liam's a pretty strong favourite. Heavy favourite. So I think Eubank's the guy that's got it all to do. He's the one who's making adjustments. He's got a new trainer. He's the one whose pride's been hurt, his reputation. So yeah, it's all on Eubank to make the adjustments.
A loss for Chris.
Liam, don't get me wrong. What he has got to go. I don't think it'll happen, but you never know with complacency, because it's such a subtle, subconscious thing that can creep in. I doubt it would happen, but I think that's the main thing he's got to guard against. And also, I think he's got to be prepared that Eubank might come out really fast. I think because that, you don't want to be thinking it's a 12-round fight and someone jumps on you. Then it's like, whoa, I'm down to a fight. So you want a good warm up. You want to be sharp from the get-go.
What does a loss do for either in this fight? Chris Eubank, I feel like almost if this isn't a win for him, then maybe his chances at world level have gone, but there's the Conor Ben fight always there. What does a loss do for Liam Morris in this fight?
I mean, it depends on the manner of defeat. If it's a split decision, there could be a third one. Absolutely, there could be a third one. Either way. So, it depends on the manner of the defeat, I think.
Right, just quickly, Oleksandr Usyk, Daniel Dubois, we've seen the aftermath of that. I've asked a lot of people, everyone's giving me mixed reviews on it. I haven't seen your take on it, so low blow or not, and what did you make of the finish to the fight?
I thought it was borderline, it was low, I think, but it wasn't in the...
You've seen them go though, them, haven't you? You've seen them.
Oh yeah. I think if he hadn't have gone down, I think the referee was one of them, keep him up. He wouldn't have stopped action and given him a warning. I think he'd have just said keep him up. But because he did turn away, he had to. Then he's got to well, did he deem it as low or not low? If it's low, he's got to give him the time. If it's not low, he's got to start counting. You know what I mean? It's one or the other, isn't it? Like I say, if he didn't go down, then I think it was just a case of keep him up because it was borderline.
Do you think Frank Warren's got a good base of evidence for an appeal in that, and do you think there's a chance they'll tell him to run it back?
I don't think so. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
What about the finish to the fight? Daniel Dubois, he's sort of been brought into question again about the manner in which, how slowly he got back up. Do you think he wanted to continue? What's your take on the whole ending? We don't like throwing the word quit around, but what did you make of the ending of the fight?
Well, I don't know. You'll have to ask him. Only he knows what's going through his head, but he was slow to get up, wasn't he?
In terms of Tyson Fury, did anything you see from Oleksandr Usyk change your opinion on what would happen between Usyk and Fury?
Not really. I think Usyk against Fury probably be a different Usyk than we got against Dubois because it's Fury, so it'll have to be. I think Fury's still a good favourite for that fight, but certainly Usyk is tricky, very tricky. His feints, his movements, and actually being smaller and with his mobility, it's an awkward fight for Fury. But I think you've got to say Fury's the number one heavyweight in the world, and until he's beaten, you can't disagree with that.
It's looking like we're going to see Joshua and Wilder at some point. I'm hearing early next year. Is that a wise move for Joshua to go into that fight next, or do you want to see him fight in between?
No, I think he's up there, isn't he? He's had a fight recently, so yeah, he got several rounds in that fight. Great knockout finish in the end. So I think now's as good a time as ever. I mean, it's a dangerous fight, but then it's a dangerous fight for Wilder. They're both big punchers. Wilder's probably a bigger puncher and has probably got better powers of recovery. But then AJ's a great finisher, so intriguing.
Last one from me. I asked Scott Quick this yesterday. I think this year we're seeing a lot of big fights. We're seeing the Spence Crawfords, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcias, Teofimo Joshua. We're seeing a lot of big fights. If you could make one fight in boxing now, aside from these heavyweights carry on in Saudi, which fight would you make? What would you want to see the most? Any fight. You can make it right now. What is it?
I don't know. Probably Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Probably.
Who would you give the edge to in that?
Shakur.
On what grounds?
I think he's a special fighter. I think he's so clever, so accurate, and I think Shakur's going to be the pound for pound number one for years to come.
Well, look, Matt, I appreciate your time as always. Hopefully we can catch up after this fight. Always appreciate it.
Cheers.